Imagine a sealed chamber, hidden for 4,500 years, untouched since the days of the pharaohs. A tiny robotic camera pushes forward through a narrow shaft, and then stops. Something massive blocks the way, a solid stone slab. Why would the ancient Egyptians place this barrier so deep inside the Great Pyramid of Giza? What secret could they be hiding for thousands of years? Researchers refused to give up. They mounted a drill on the robot, pierced a small hole through the stone, and slid a micro camera inside. What it revealed, no living human had ever seen before. Welcome back to Egypt, land of mysteries, home to 138 pyramids that have endured earthquakes, floods, and centuries of history without collapsing. Among them, the Great Pyramid of Giza towers above all. Originally 480 feet tall, built on a base so vast it could fit 9 football fields inside its footprint. Experts estimate it was constructed with 2.3 million limestone blocks, some weighing as much as 50 tons each. Altogether, the pyramid weighs nearly 6 million tons, equivalent to 12 Burj Khalifa stacked together! But why build something so colossal? And more importantly, how did ancient engineers achieve such precision without modern tools? For centuries, scholars have debated how every side of the pyramid aligns almost perfectly with true north, south, east, and west, to an accuracy of just 0.067 degrees. Some believe the architects used the stars, specifically the circumpolar stars, to find Earth's poles. Without compasses or satellites, they relied only on the night sky. Next came the challenge of leveling the ground. Imagine preparing a 13-acre foundation that had to be perfectly flat, or else the pyramid would collapse under its own weight. Experts suggest the builders dug trenches around the site, filled them with water, and used the waterline as a natural level. Any rock sticking above was chiseled down by hand. Another simple tool may have helped, a wooden frame with a hanging plumb stone. If the string stayed centered, the surface was level. Primitive, yet incredibly effective. Once the base was ready, it was time to cut the massive limestone blocks. But here's the catch. Copper chisels alone couldn't cut hard stone. They were too soft. Archaeologists believe the Egyptians added arsenic and other alloys to strengthen the copper tools. With endless hammering, they slowly shaped the limestone into perfect squares. But where did all this limestone come from? The answer lies in the Tura quarries, almost 250 kilometers away from Giza. Each block could weigh 50,000 kilograms, the same as 3 modern buses. Transporting them wasn't just hard, it was nearly impossible without advanced machinery. So how did they do it? New evidence shows that the ancient Egyptians may have built special boats to carry the stones along the Nile River. Loading and unloading such massive blocks required armies of workers. Experts estimate that at least 500 men were needed just to move a single shipment. But moving the blocks to Giza was only half the battle. The question remained how to lift them nearly 500 feet into the air. One theory suggests a zigzagging ramp wrapped around the pyramid. Another proposes a spiral ramp built against the sides. Either way, it required unimaginable manpower. As workers pulled each block higher and higher, the structure began to rise. Slowly, one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world took shape. But the limestone exterior wasn't the only challenge. Inside the pyramid, the architects had to create chambers, passageways, and even air shafts, each placed with astonishing accuracy. And here lies a puzzle that stunned experts. While the outer pyramid used limestone, the king's chamber inside was built from solid granite. Granite is so tough that even today it requires diamond-tipped saws to cut. Yet somehow, 4,500 years ago, Egyptians shaped and transported granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons. How did they manage this impossible feat? And what exactly did the robotic camera see behind that mysterious stone slab inside the pyramid? The camera slowly moves past the tiny hole drilled in the stone slab. And then it stops. The view leaves even seasoned archaeologists speechless. Behind the slab, a small, perfectly carved corridor appears. Its walls glistened faintly in the robot's light, untouched for over 4,500 years. The corridor seems almost too precise. Each granite block fits without a gap, as if the builders used a secret technique now lost to history. At the end of the corridor, the camera finds a hidden chamber, sealed and unexplored. Inside, the walls are lined with massive granite blocks, polished to an incredible smoothness. No tool today could replicate this finish easily. Experts believe the chamber may have served as a ritual or storage space, but the exact purpose remains a mystery. What's truly astonishing, microscopic. Grooves on the granite suggest a tool was dragged across it, using abrasive sand for months, maybe even years. The robot carefully scans the floor, revealing strange symbols etched into the stone. They don't match any known Egyptian hieroglyphs. Some scholars think these markings were construction guides, possibly showing how blocks should be positioned inside the pyramid. Others speculate a hidden formula for aligning chambers with stars or magnetic fields. Moving upward, the camera captures the king's chamber ceiling. Granite beams weigh over 50 tons each, and they appear suspended perfectly without modern support systems. Engineers today are baffled. How did ancient Egyptians raise these beams without cranes or pulleys? Some believe they used wooden sledges, lubricated with water, along carefully constructed ramps inside the pyramid. Another possibility, counterweight systems, hidden inside the pyramid that we have yet to discover. As the robot pans across the chamber, tiny particles of gold dust appear embedded in the granite. Could this hint that the chamber was not only structural, but also ritually important? Perhaps a space for the pharaoh's afterlife. The camera now peers into a narrow shaft, previously blocked and unexplored. Inside, the walls are lined with limestone. But halfway through, the material abruptly changes to granite. This sudden switch suggests extreme planning and engineering. Skill. The builders knew exactly where granite would provide strength. Experts confirm that the alignment of this shaft points precisely toward Orion's belt, the stars associated with the pharaoh's soul. Every stone, every chamber, every passage inside the Great Pyramid was part of a grand celestial design, integrating astronomy, mathematics, and architecture. The robotic camera even detected faint traces of red ochre pigment, possibly used for marking or ceremonial purposes during construction. This discovery supports theories that ancient Egyptians combined spiritual symbolism with engineering mastery. The video ends with the camera slowly retreating from the hidden chamber, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. What other secrets lie hidden inside the Great Pyramid? Still waiting to be discovered? And could these ancient techniques inspire modern engineers today? Stay tuned for more revelations, because the mysteries of the Great Pyramid are far from over.